What's up YouTube? Jeff back again from DopeTechDaily.com. Today I'm bringing you guys another case video for the Galaxy Note 7. Now if you checked out my last video, I did the top drop protective cases for the Galaxy Note 7, including Urban Armor gear and a couple of cases from OtterBox. Today I wanted to bring you guys another category of Note 7 cases, the top Note 7 cases under $10. I know a lot of you guys out there are looking for a cheap case that's also going to give you some style and protection. So today I've got 4 cases for you that do exactly that. So the first one I've actually been using already. I've used all of these actually. I just got a couple extras. These companies did send these out to me, so a huge shout out. The first one's from Ringkey. This is their frame case. Now this is in the Ocean Coral Blue colorway. One thing that I don't really love about the case is this coral blue doesn't really match the coral blue on the Note 7. Not a huge deal. I mean, it still looks good, but it's not the same color, as you guys can even see through the camera. But this case is really, really nice, and I believe this one's $8.99. All of these are $7.99, $8.99, or $9.99. I'll link them below on Amazon so you guys can pick them up. It's got a frame around the outside, but what I think that Rinky did that's super genius is that they made the frame so that it's actually really easy to remove the frame on and off by putting this little clasp right here at the top. Now, one problem I always have with two-part cases that have a frame around the outside is that when you go to put the frame on, you have to sort of tug at the frame and it ends up pulling the frame out, and then the frame ends up getting loose around the button area, and then it doesn't look good at all on your phone. The frame just looks super loose, and then I hate that fact when I push on it, it feels like it has some give to it. But with this one, you've got a little clasp at the top of the two-part frame. That's going to make it so that you don't ever have to stretch the frame out to put it on once you put on the first part of the case. That's going to make it really easy to use this, and it's never going to get stretched out. So this is a very simple two-part case. You've got soft shell clear TPU here. It's a hard shell TPU. It's got soft shell around the sides here where the buttons go, and it's got the hard shell here on the back. So you can go ahead and put your phone in there, and that's the first part. Of course, it's got all the buttons right there for the volume up and down, the power. You've got all your cutouts for the S Pen, etc. I'll go ahead and show you guys that the S Pen is easy to remove here in a minute. But that's what the first part looks like. You can easily see through the back. And then you can put the second part of the case on, which is this bumper. Now, as I mentioned, the nice thing about this bumper is that you don't have to stretch out the bumper to put it on. You just slide the two parts together, and then you're going to fix that clasp at the top. And then that clasp is going to lock, and now your second part of the case is on. So you can see right there, this is not going to stretch out the outer shell, and now you get a nice tight fit. The outer part of the outer piece is very tight. You don't get any stretching. So you can see the button cutouts are on point. You can easily get the power. You can easily get the volume, no problem. Very nice. It doesn't have much of a lip around the front. It does have a little lip on the top and the bottom, not nearly as substantial as on the UAG and OtterBox cases, but you know, that's what you expect for a case of this price range. You do have a little bit of Rinky branding right here on the side, as you guys can see. Overall, a very nice case. It is a little more slippery than I would like, but I guess that's what you would expect from a case that has a clear back. There really is no texture here on the back of this particular case. As I mentioned, the S Pen, very easy to extract and also insert back into the phone. The next case I have here is also from Ringkey. This is the Ringkey Air case for the Galaxy Note 7. This one's in smoke black. Now I'm going to go ahead and open this and show you this color. This one's a very simple case. I think this one might even be a little bit cheaper. You've got some information here from Ringkey thanking you for your purchase. This is just a one-part soft shell TPU case, so no two parts here, no frame or anything like that. This is the simplest case you can get if you just want to protect your phone from scratches when you sit it down on a table or something like that. You want to protect the camera. There really isn't a whole lot to say about this case. You just slide the phone right in. This is not going to give you a lot of drop protection. It does give you a little more grip though than the previous case because the back here is like a matte instead of a gloss finish, so it's not quite as slippery. But it's not going to give you a lot of drop protection. You can see here, there's a little lip on the top and the bottom. Nothing substantial like you guys saw in the last video. The buttons are very, very tactile here. The volume and also the power button. So if you're worried about the buttons, there's no issues on that. And the fit is really beautiful on this one. You know, for such a good price, you might expect to have some fit issues, but the headphone jack, USB Type-C, and the S Pen is also on point. You can easily pull that out and insert it, no problems with that. So all the cutouts are there. You do get a little bit of a recessed camera module on the back, so that does give you some protection there. But again, this is a very minimal case. If you want something you can just throw on the phone when you're going out, Maybe you sit this on your dash in your car, you don't want to get scratches on the back of the phone, you're worried about something like that, then get this case. Definitely not a protection case, but it will do the job just to protect the back of the phone, and you can still see the color, right? It is a smoky black, but you can still see your coral blue through the back. All right, my last, or sorry, not my last one, I'm on my third one. The third case I have for you guys here is from Tudia. So this is the Tudia Arch case. They sent me the blue colorway. I've done the Tudia cases for quite a few of the phones that I've had recently, and I believe this one is 10 bucks as well, 9 or 10 bucks. You can see that they had already started counting before Samsung changed their mind. It says Note 6 in the insert here they have. This is the Note 7, obviously. Samsung changed the numbering scheme. So this is also a very simple case. This one's got a little more protection. It also has a little better grip because there's a little texture, Tudia branding on the back here. But it's also a one-part case, just like the last one I showed you. It is a little bit thicker, so I feel like this one's got a little more shock absorption than the simple, very thin TPU case I just showed you from Ringkey. But again, not a whole lot to say about it in terms of overall features of this case. This is a case you're going to buy if you just want to slap it on there and get some very basic protection while maintaining the thinness of the phone. You can see it's super thin. The buttons, once again, work great, so you don't have to worry about that. And then also the cutouts are on point on the bottom here. You've got your S Pen cutout. Now this one is a little more difficult to get the S Pen out than any of the other ones. It's not difficult, but I don't know, the case covers the S Pen slot a little more, which may be a good thing if you're looking to get protection for your S Pen. It is raised up above there. But otherwise, all of the other ports here are on point, no issues at all. And again, you do get a little more shock absorption because this case is a little thicker on the back. The camera module is also recessed, so you don't have to worry about scratching that up. And once again, there's a little lip on the top and bottom, but it's not very substantial. This is not something I'd be sitting the phone face down. I would be worried about possibly, getting a little bit of scratching. Now, the edges are also raised up a little bit here. Some people were asking in the last comments of a case video to see if I could find a case that goes all the way up above the phone. This one does go pretty far above the edges compared to some of the others. You're not going to find a case that goes all the way above the edges because you have to have access to the edge screen, right? If you go all the way above the edges, you're not going to be able to access the edge panel like I did right there. So anyway, this is the Tudia Arch case. I will drop a link below to this one. Lots of colors in all these cases, so if you don't like the color I'm showing the video, don't worry about that. The final case I have is also from Ringkey. This is the Ringkey Fusion case, Crystal View. So this case is a pretty nice one. Let's go ahead and open it up. And this is another one-part case that gives you a nice crystal view, but this one actually has a hard shell on the back. So unlike the previous one that I showed you guys, that one had just a soft shell TPU that went all the way around. Let me actually grab it really quick so we can do a quick comparison. This was the smoke piece. This one has soft shell TPU on the back. This one's got a hard shell TPU on the back, and then a little bit of softer shell TPU for shock absorption around the sides where the buttons go. Now on this one you do get your Ringkey Fusion do-it-yourself cutting guide tool here. You can put a pattern here on the back if you want to for your phone, so you can design it yourself. You put a pattern on the back if you don't want the clear back. You can see here they do have some plastic here on the inside so that you have a notification that tells you to pull all this plastic off. There's one piece right there, and then there's also going to be a piece here on the inside, which I always have quite a time getting off. So you can see if you get it started. I always worry about scratching the inside of my case, but you just got to be really careful and pull that off. You get that piece off. And then you also have a piece here on the back here, which once again, if you get it started here in the top corner, then usually it's easy to peel that whole piece off. And then just make sure you get any of the excess plastic. Sometimes you have some more of that sticky stuff right there. Make sure you get all that, make sure it all comes off, and then you're good to go. So this one is a crystal view, so instead of the smoke color, you guys can see the difference right there obviously. And this is also a hard case. So this one probably gives you a little more protection, I would say, than the one-piece case that I showed you in the smoke color. So once again, though, a very simple case. You snap that on. You got a very nice look at the coral blue. This one probably has the best visibility. It's definitely the clearest and gives you a nice look at the color. Very reflective when the sun hits it. The buttons, once again, very tactile. No problem with the buttons at all. You're not going to get a lot of lip protection on the front, as with all these cases, because these are value cases. You do have some Ringkey branding right there on the side, as with the previous case. And then you can see here on the back of the phone, you also have a recessed camera module, but this one's not as recessed as the others. As you can see, this case lays pretty flat to the back, so you get a nice up-close view of the color of your Galaxy Note 7. And then just one last thing, the S Pen here does come in and out very easily on this one as well, which is always something to take into mind when you're talking about Galaxy Note cases. And you've got all of your cutouts on point for this one as well. I really appreciate Ringkey and Tudia both for sending out these cases so I could do a review. I'll drop all the links below in the description if you guys want to check these out. I will have more case videos coming up, including my favorite everyday cases and also my favorite wallet and card slot cases. Please stay tuned for that. You guys can find me at Twitter, Google+, Instagram with the links in the description. Also at doketechdaily.com. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy my content so I can make future videos like this. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.